Hello, sweet friends, and welcome to my channel, Crafting with me, Indiana Jones. And if crafting is your cup of tea, you come to the right place. So please pull up a chair, join me for a cuppa, and let's have some fun with some teacup inspired DIYs and crafts for spring. These are just a few of my favorite teacup inspired crafts for spring that I've done in the past, and I wanted to share it with you again. This one is absolutely adorable because it is a violet inspired spring teacup. Because the cup itself had all these lovely violets, I wanted to feature the violet in this little arrangement. Now, one of the things I try to make sure of, especially when I'm using some of my favorite teacups, is I try not to damage the inside of the teacup with any kind of glue. I just put some styrofoam in there that fits snugly so that I'm sure that it won't fall over in any way. And that way I don't have to glue anything directly to the teacup. As you saw, I just added and glued down a little bit of moss, and now I'm just adding my flowers to create this cute little floral design. And I think this is absolutely perfect if you're planning a graduation or maybe a little Mother's Day tea party for your mom and your aunties and all of your friends. There's so many ways that you can use this. What about a baby shower or bridal shower? So many little things. And even if it's a wedding, an afternoon tea wedding, wouldn't this be lovely? And your friends can actually take home the teacup as a gift, a thank you for them attending your event. So here is just one lovely, fast way to use a teacup for your spring decor. Now, I realize this is not a teacup, but it's probably something that you've come across thrift stores and you've wondered, what in the world would I do with this? Again, if you collect many of these would be perfect centerpieces for any kind of springtime event, or even just to have in your bedside or in your hallway bathroom or on your kitchen table. There's so many ways you can decorate with these little pictures. And again, I've come across so many of these, and I probably have too many I probably have like 5 or 6. I'm not going to say I have too many to count. Probably have around 5 or 6 in my collection. And I really do love the shabby chic French country feel of these little pictures. And all you have to do is you can add some real flowers, or just add this lovely bunch of these little white roses and these tiny little, I guess they're like pink baby's breath. And I love the combination. And that's it. You have your centerpiece ready for any event. So I want to introduce you once again to FLEXISPOT. They have sponsored this video and they have provided me with another wonderful product. If you saw my video a few weeks ago, you saw that I received a hydraulic lift adjustable table, which has been an absolute dream to work with my crafts lately. Well, they offered to provide a FLEXISPOT Recliner XL6. Now, the FLEXISPOT Recliner is different than most recliners out there because it has dual motors. It has independent control, not just of reclining your head and feet, but also as a lift chair. So if you know of anybody that has any difficulties getting up from a recliner or any seated position, this is the perfect chair for them. Now, it can withstand a capacity of 400 pounds, and you can lay almost completely flat on this recliner. It has, not only is it a great recliner, but it also has heating and massage functions. Now, I have to tell you, this is so affordable because the features that you see on this chair usually will be on an item that costs close to $2,000. But now you can have a lift chair of your own for the same price or even less than most regular recliners, but with an added bonus of being able to help you or anyone in your family who has mobility issues. It helps with the pain as well, with the wonderful heating and massage. And I can tell you by personal experience that putting this chair together was so easy and so quick that in no time I was able to give this chair to my older brother Manny, because he has been my hero more than once, and I really wanted to give him a special treat for helping me out with some technical difficulties recently. So let's hear straight from Manny what he thinks of the FLEXISPOT. So how have you enjoyed your new FLEXISPOT recliner?
So far I've taken advantage of every angle of this FLEXISPOT recliner. It's been wonderful.
And do you like the massaging aspect of
Yes.
it?
The fact that you have different options is fantastic.
And you spend a lot of time on your feet when you're at work, right?
Yeah. So this is very relaxing.
I'm so glad I was able to give it to you, and I'm so glad that you're enjoying it.
And this props up very comfortably, so you don't need a pillow.
So you can adjust it to yourself.
Yeah.
And do you leave the chair up sometimes when you leave, so that when you come home you can get into the chair easily?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Much easier.
That's good.
And this is perfect.
Well, excellent. I'm so glad that you are enjoying the chair, and it looks so elegant too. No one would ever know.
The material is very strong, you can tell, and you can appreciate the stitching. I'm a familiar person with stitching, and I know that they did a good job with the stitching.
High
and the
quality.
style.
Yeah, high quality.
It's good quality.
It's very nice. It's a very nice looking chair. You would never think it was one of those lift chairs.
Yeah, no. It
All
looks like a regular recliner, but yet it's got the extra lift you need. A lot easier.
Well, thank
For
you.
people with knee problems or back problems or problems with their feet.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you, Manny. I'm so glad you liked it. Enjoy.
Love it.
Bye. Thank you once again, FLEXISPOT, and please find more information about this lift recliner in the description below. Now here is another wonderful idea for your teapots and teacups. Now this little teapot I actually found on sale at Hobby Lobby, but I have also seen children's tea sets. So if you have a children's tea set around and you don't know exactly what to do with it, here's a cute way to just combine them together and make something very, very cute. Now for the little plain teapot, I decided to add some of these flowers that I had, these sticker flowers, and they look just fine. And I wanted it to match the little teacup. Now, using kind of the same concept as the floating teacup, I'm going to make a floating mini teapot. And there's my floating mini kitty cat. There's little Luna. As I mentioned before, this is a mini compilation, so I am bringing in some projects that I have used in the past. So there I have little Luna and Guru sitting and watching me as I create my floating mini teapot. Now the important thing here is I did secure the styrofoam, and that's just the regular styrofoam that you can get at the Dollar Tree, and I secured it to the bottom of the teacup. But before I did that, I wanted to make sure that the teacup was weighted enough at the bottom of that teacup. So I decided to create some weights to counterbalance the teapot. And there you can see I'm just adding some stones to the styrofoam so that the teacup will be well balanced once I add the floating teapot. And there we go. And there's little Guru, my little, quality control cat, making sure everything is going to work out just fine because she's overseeing everything. Now, for the little teapot, all I am doing is I'm adding some it's wire that's not easily bent. I tried to use some wire from a stand that I had, or one of those yard stands that you can find at the Dollar Tree. So that is what I'm using there. I'm kind of worried with the kitty cats and the wire. I'm trying to keep them away, but they're so curious. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to counterbalance that little teapot into the teacup and adding some hot glue. Now again, I suggest that you check and make sure that your teacup, that you're going to use, isn't valuable. It could be, this one I think had a chip in it, so I couldn't even use it to drink tea from. And therefore, that is why I'm using this for decor. Just to make sure. I adore teacups, and I make sure I don't use any kind of valuable teacups or any teacups that might have a value to them, because I do appreciate the beauty and artwork that are in teacups. Now here, as you can see, I was having a little difficulty trying to balance the teapot. I had to get it just right so it wouldn't tip over the teacup. Teacup. I'm going to say that a lot in this one. Once I have that centered in, then I started covering that wire. One thing I did is I did make sure that I glued the wire into the teapot so that it wouldn't fall out, and also to strengthen it. And all I'm doing now is adding some moss, as we've done before, to the wire and cover that so it looks more magical, of course. Now I could have also, and I think I did it in another project, I could have actually used the hot glue and cover the wire with the hot glue and then paint the hot glue to make it look as though it was tea. But since I was covering this with moss, that's why I'm using the moss all over that wire. And again, where there is moss, there is very curious kitty cats. So they're here once again to help me put the moss into the cup, or actually to knock the moss off into the floor. So there'll be moss all over the place. With the moss in place, all you have to do now is decorate with your favorite little spring flowers. And if this isn't adorable, I don't know what is. Again, this can be used as, just some decor. You can use this on a tiered tray. You can use this in the corner of your kitchen, or even amongst the collection of teacups that you have. Or perhaps you have a coffee table. Maybe you can add this to your coffee table and add some tea elements as well. Whatever it is that you want to use this for, there's no doubt that it'll bring a smile to your face. And what a lovely gift for Mom and Mother's Day as well. Here's another fun and wonderful idea to use with your chipped or unusable teacups. Once again, I'm going to use some styrofoam and I'm going to secure it to the inside of the cup. I just wanted to cut it down a little bit so it wasn't over the rim of the cup, because I am going to use some moss, so I don't want it to just overflow everywhere. And there you have it. And this one, I am not going to be balancing anything heavy. I will be balancing something light over this teacup. I love adding natural elements. So there you can see that I added this very interesting branch. And again, if you can't find a branch that looks exactly like you'd want to, remember you can always add little branches and cover the addition by using a little bit of moss. Now I'm adding some leaves because I did want this to look like a spring branch had just fallen into this teacup. And what else has fallen into this teacup? Well, a lovely little nest. And of course, I'm just going to cover the outside rim of that styrofoam so you can't see it as much. You can use leaves, you can use moss, whatever it is you'd like to use. And then I'm going to build a little nest inside of that teacup. If you are enjoying this, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to come back for more fun. Now, I've heard of a lot of different ways to create a nest. I just wrap it around and use my fingers as best as I can to shape it in the way that I'd like. And as you can see, that branch is perfectly situated for a little bird to watch over her lovely little nest. I mean, she was just flying around and saw this empty teacup and decided to create a safe little nest in this beautiful little repository. Who the heck is talking? It's me. I know. Anyway, but this was so much fun to make. And once again, what a lovely gift for a friend or just to decorate in your own home. So I hope that you're inspired to create some teacup inspirations and bring a little bit of spring inside in your home. Well, I hope you're inspired to create some of your own teacup spring decor. As always, stay safe, be kind, God bless each and every one of you, and remember to live the adventure. And there'll always be a cup of tea waiting for you right here with me. See you again very, very soon.